weird.
out that those pop and then it happened again, and they were like, "Oh my goodness, we need to stop this devil lettuce from spreading." And like it brought out all kinds of things. And it's a really vocal minority that it really was like we have to protect our kids, and the devil's lettuce is just gonna ruin our community. And so what happened is, it, for these cannabis businesses, they had to turn around and then run their own petition and re-vote on cannabis. And Caleb really helped spearhead that. Spending hundreds of hours out with just signs on street corners trying to put legal cannabis both to save his own business and to bring it to people who voted for it, just to get to vote for it again. And where is it now? Now, we in the Matthew Borough won, I believe it was 10-point spread there, and things are going pretty good, but it's still very short of up and down there. But the Matthew Borough is now starting to see lots of smaller limited grows. That's where a lot of them, because there's very limited rules fighting against them. So although that prohibition was painful at the time, it made it so that the community was forced to come out, vote with the highest voter turnout in 20 years, with a huge spread, 1,400 voters. It gave me a resounding "you're welcome," instead of always fighting with everyone, and everyone always be like, "Oh well, the people don't actually want me here." No, I have numbers that prove the people actually want me here now. So it was painful at the time, but because of the results, really it now backs up my position. And essentially, I mean, it was legalized twice. Yeah. Like once for the state, and then once for the Matthew Borough, and then subsequently the Kenai ban was overturned, the Fairbanks Borough and city bans were overturned. Now the next step is trying to overturn these bans on on-site consumption, which is what will allow consumption lounges to also approved overwhelmingly by the voters. But once again, you have the local minorities saying, "Oh, we can't have people getting high," even though we have alcohol sold, bars and every corner. And to go back just a little bit, the city of Wasilla and the city of Palmer are still banned. No business can operate inside the city limits of those two. So even though the larger Matthew Borough, I'm outside the city limits, it's legal there. 1 minute west, and it's legal right there. So even though we won that, there's still places in the Matthew Borough that we are gonna have to go back and do this again eventually. But you do have legal cannabis as it stands right now. Yes. Oh yeah, definitely. The only thing that they ban is legal business. They cannot ban cannabis like that was written into the rules. Right? They didn't want to allow people to be like, "Oh well, it's legal, but we ban things everywhere." All they can do is ban business. What Number two, what is the first? Oh man, I would wasn't that the movie? That was awesome. Cross throwing weapons out there. I am on Instagram. But check out all our stuff is StarAK through their Facebook, Instagram. Stay tuned at the end of this week's Week 5 episode for another edition of Stony Baloney. Stony Baloney is pop culture infused. Stony-baloney.com. Stony Baloney one of favorites. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the topic of prohibition and illegal Alaska Marijuana Industry Association, will also check in with Grace Big Donna. Start the second half of the show with another episode of Tales from the Black Market. These live continues in just short minutes. yeah, come in, and open the door, and there's like, tell her what she's got coming her way. One of my personal favorites from Pacaloa is the caramel coated coffee puss. And yeah, an offering of Kona Gold. And it's a hybrid as well with a nice body height and gentle buzz. Oh, it smells good. Smells good. More of a cake coat than whoa, Harley, you can always become a great Harley was that's right there. Harley doesn't respond to that. We're a little white. Harley needs some green color to her. Of course, there's Wes wearing a black t-shirt and black hat with the Alaska Leaf logo on it. Alaska Leaf is one of the yep, and we've been up here for 3 years in May. Wow, exciting. Let me tell you, and which state was this? Number 3 as well. What was the Seattle and Oregon, Alaska, and BC is number 2. That's Harley. One of the first words you used was education. Can we educate this old school of cannabis? Yeah, part of what it is too up here, the largest demographic of the users of cannabis in Alaska are young people. So we have the highest per capita. The biggest user group that you're designed to business can't sleep with problems and you're denying them and then they go like, oh, no, we're not against that. So they need to understand what they're trying to do. Well, if you listen to episode number 9 of Leaf Life, it's actually Zappis, and it talks explicitly about.
I cannot for the life of me find fucking food in this world. Ah, well. I don't know. I think respawning kind of helps me mulligan. Alright, let's start off going this way. You know what? I'm not going to start off running. That wastes energy. That's looking like a piece of fruit or something would fall out of one of these. Most of the time it's just a damn tree. I almost feel like the crossover version is like harder. I'm on easy mode. I still haven't managed to like get food and survive beyond starving to death or be. Ooh, I think I found a mob who is burning up though. So I can at least get his rotten flesh. Jesus. Yeah. I can hope. Maybe he didn't. Doesn't look like he did. There it is. Sweet. It's partially done, but that's because I started the new bowl this morning so my tummy wouldn't get upset. I love you. Say some kind of food. Not more trees, you jerk turd. Oh. Almost had this guy. They are harder. They take way more to kill. Usually with a wooden sword, like, that's enough to survive a day. I'm not convinced this crossover world was worth it. No. Mostly because I, like, can't even survive a day. And those are poppies. I was hoping those were like weird ass mushrooms. They are not. Do you know? Is there two? Oh my god, it's a fucking child. Damn, I hate those. Sheepy poo. Yeah, I think so. I think it was a sheep. It looked like a sheep, but didn't give me anything. That's long. No. I realize this is all lava. But I can just keep running around until day. Hmm. He must have died over here at some point. Ah. Don't have time to get more. Motherfucker. Oh, Jesus. He hit me with a fucking javelin and it took like half my life in one hit. I know there's a door here. I'm gonna go in there until day. Oh my god, these are lanterns. I should steal this. Prismarine crystals. Not gonna be able to what? Noticed. What? Oh my god. That's adorable. It's a toilet. Ah! That's so cute. That makes sense. Oh, yeah, I see. Okay, this was less than interesting. Huh, interesting. Alright, birdmongers. Stop following me. Huh? In what thing? This? That's a stove. Or a furnace. No. Hmm? Wow, it's cool, right? It's cute how much they've done. Yeah, I don't even collect it. But I'm thinking I will harvest the materials I need from in here rather than outside where I'm dying. Okay. I've gotten trees out of it. Rare, but I've gotten trees. Everything's got like a little bit different skin. The intros to these, they're seriously like a minute and a half.
$7 million. I mean, Wes, you could almost sell your magazine and get that and buy the state of Alaska, but it's not the year 1867, whatever it was.
Albuquerque's small camera stolen. Another camera removed by police after the theft. Here's what we know. It's funny.
You don't. I don't know that. I bet you guys know. 1959.
Bet you every fifth grader knows.
That was PW.
effective enough that is horrible. How do you dye the glass again?
My theory and then
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna try. Sweet. God, I finally found cool. Fucking sticking.
And this is a big deal. I mean, not just for cannabis products, but everything has to be shipped in by plane or by boat. And so doing it efficiently is a big deal. And down in Juneau, I mean, there's quite a few different cannabis businesses, both producers and processors like you guys, also retailers. You know, what have you heard people doing to get products from parts of the state, not just Juneau, where you can't just hop in the car? What have you heard of people trying to get their products to market? Everything possible. Yeah, a lot of cooperation goes on. People are trying to there's a ferry system that has been utilized. There's and each community, they'll check it into one facility, and then when that person can make it from the phone, they'll get you know, we get weathered in along the southeast, that a lot of great. So we have a lot of, probably sometimes 100 times actually follow than we do getting the product. It's like good habits. We knew what we were getting when we got into this. We all make it work.
Nah. Ah! Oh, fuck, I fell on the fire. I'm burning. I'm dying. I'm gonna die.
You always welcome Mom.
I'm very excited about this whole crossover deal.
No, I mean, like, just sitting there, like, there's nothing even happening, right?
Mhm.
There's not even anything keeps you up at night. What are you thinking about?
Mhm.
You just gonna look down at your dick like, why? Like,
It's a mom.
just why? Yeah, no
Weird.
actual reason why.
Oh, I have never heard that.
I've never heard that before, but I've had it.
I
I
mean,
know there was a name for it.
So I created this other world, which is called Super Tools. So apparently it gives you like the most ultimately powerful tools ever. Yeah. I kind of wish it was just sort of like an add-on. And I was kind of hoping it was so that I could use that in the Adventure Time world. My starting point is like a fucking mansion.
Subject today, transporting without roads in the great state of Alaska. One of our Evan Levinson, welcome to the show, brother. Let's talk about transporting without roads for you as a retailer. Thank you. Yeah, fortunately for us, being in Anchorage, it's kind of the hub where everybody has to go to get testing dropped off, and a lot of transports happen there. So it's great for us to accommodate the drop off testing on products. We do involved with across the state. What kind of things do you inspire when you hear out what somebody's challenging the bar?
You know, I got Stone Sword killing things. I'm kind of wondering if I just forgot to with only 7 items. I can jump over the fence because that other mob couldn't figure out jumping over. Oh, sure you can. That'll be good. Should be fun. Ah, fuck, you're right. Yeah, it wouldn't let me jump over the fence either. No wonder this is blocked off. There's a fucking, like, spawn thingy there. Although, food source if I just leave this here.
arriving in Fairbanks that have to go to shops along the way and stuff like that. So, and why is it important to source from around the state? Because there are enough grows.
I'm burning myself.
Theoretically, you're in Anchorage in the Master Valley or Fairbanks area that you need to buy roads. Where why do you want to source products from or from Nome or these different areas? It's really the uniqueness of the genetics that comes up with is super important for me as a grower and for kind of what our retail has established is, big wide variety of products. We have one of the widest menus in the state, and we like to keep it that way on a rotating cycle with different varieties. And that's what people look for, different varieties. But there's so much specs, across the board with different people. Well, Wes is known as one of the states with some of the best weed. Is that right, Wes? I have enjoyed my company. But there really is some great weed, and this is great weed being grown and encouraged just in minutes from downtown. But a lot of it, like Ben with Top Hat, some of that is really great weed too. And the customers deserve that. And that's one thing I really respect about Lady, trying to have a big menu that rotates through, respects all the growers, and that's part of it. Right? Exactly. And we're very educational. Thanks. We like to pass that along and let you share what this plant's all about. And what would you say is the hardest part for you? Just finding good weed. The hard part was in the beginning, building relationships with vendors and cultivators before their crops were started, and basically pre-buying crops before they were even in the ground. So that's really stuck me in relationships with vendors and growers that we're building at the time. Since then, this last year, since 180, a lot of other vendors, cultivators come on board, and now basically require samples and test results before we
Finally caught a freaking fish.
like that. So,
Now I can bake it.
quality,
I got this go faster.
which is really important.
Yeah.
Want to know what
I mean, it's any fire. You put them on there, and then they kind of pop off when they're done. Yeah. You never knew that? Did I get my little experience? Ah, see? It's floating now. And now I have poop salmon. Why, thank you. No. Cook this other. I have stomach for these.
Before you can legally smell it, you got to get a sample up all the way, take all the effort, energy to get it there, test it, then sell it, and then deliver it. And so it's really a complicated process. And it takes love and passion for the plant and for the industry. I don't think people are doing it. Where do you see guys going to do future as far as doing support? I think we'll get more of right now it's kind of a case of sell. I've heard stories of people renting full street jets to fly weed around. People, packing, 40 pounds into a they're carrying on in this scenario. But at the end of the day, these products are legal and they're making it to market. And again, you can go to Enlighten and find products from all over the state, including stuff from Top Hat, which is a lot of fun. What story did you hear about it, Golf? I heard a story about someone mentioning Gulfstream Jet. I typically fly up and order a cannabis tube. Oh, so wow. And part of it's on bring products to market. And that's what I love about Alaska is the resourcefulness that it takes to live here. The people who are up here want to be here, and they also want to consume cannabis. And it's great to see how much diversity and entrepreneurism is coming to this state and a lot of fire. Hey, Evan Levington, Macarena or the train? Macarena.
I do.
Sorry about it. That's a tough one, brother. Ryan is a tongue twister. I want to thank you for being on the show, brother. Talking about transporting without roads has been great. Appreciate you guys, right? As you guys have heard a bunch of comments going on here in the room, that was our gangster Evan over there who shot a dad here in Kingsburg. I feel like I know that you got a comment to get off there, Evan. Oh, yeah, just a little, Kingsburg. Hey, where do we find you on Instagram, brother? Greener Guru. And Evan, where do we find you on IG, bro? Enlighten_. What's been a really interesting show? I know I say that every time, but it's about transporting the state like this. It's got to be a night. You got to get high and find your way. Well, next week's topic will be the future of on-site consumption lounges here in the great state of Alaska. We touched on that in Portland several weeks ago, and now we'll look into how it works in Alaska, which is always a compelling subject and a sticky one as well. We don't like to smoke in public, but we don't want to get in trouble. Yeah, we're excited and next show. Hey, check out this and all these live episodes at LeafLifePodcast.com or LeafLifePodcast.com. Also, LeafLife exclusive. Guys, if you like this radio night, enjoy another title that we have. Stoney Baloney, which you can always see Stoney-Baloney.com. And more actors. Yeah. Never uses any flavors, colors, or additives in the oil. Just a single table of all that water up ahead, but it's only a mirage? Well, that is what your brain is doing when it tells you that if you drink more alcohol, you'll feel better and be more amazing. And be a more amazing singer. You know how it works. If a girl is writing a show, take the edge off as a reward for the efforts of wordsmithing weathered all week. Then it's unprofessional with more passion for throwing all time to a win with the kind of breakfast adventure that involves continuous round mystery shots with straight followed by hard high fives and puckered faces. Inevitably, he will wind down with a large cocktail and another beer that goes half drank before waiting the proverbial white bar nap in smothering splendor. The mind, body, and spirit are separate entities now, clashing like tools in a paradox full of massive same strength and a false sense of mental fortitude. With your better sense of rationale regarded and your level of sobriety separately contained, you're in no position at this point to make like Weatherford said, the $42 train ride home or drive yourself, or whether to provoke an argument with another young person, or your significant other, or whether to provoke an argument with your non-significant other, or whether to prevent a lot. This is called the drugging. See if the day is grand enough and making sure that I'm having as soon as I can get back in bed with a quick of ketchup and a crushed Oreo McFlurry, or a fully loaded bacon-wrapped street dog. A liquor-induced feeding frenzy is a recipe for a boiling volcanic cauldron. Note, under no circumstances should this ever be confused with the
Oh my god, I'm such a dingus. You know what I could do? Go to creative mode in the Adventure Time world, give myself some nice armor and a couple weapons, and then go mess around in adventure.
So, if you love what you hear, please
I'm a giant
now.
doofus.
Consider supporting us on Patreon by visiting Great Moments.
Did you start a new world?
No.
Did you just find a new spot?
Yeah. See,
Very nice.
This podcast is for adults 21 years of age or older. We talk about cannabis history and advertising.
Right.
And which direction I'm facing. I'm trying to find this little house. Right.
Yeah.
To see what the fuck it is. And while I was doing it, I discovered this.
That's cute.
It
I
is.
like it.
It's far, far, far too far away from me to set up and become a meaningful trade route. But yeah,
I like it.
I love you.
I love you too. Well, at least in this world, I survived the night. Holy shit, I can make a golden shovel. I don't think it's really worth it. I didn't think so.
Golden shovels dig fast, but they also break.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Like, the golden ones, yeah, cool, yay, but breaks.
Yeah, break really fast.
Mm-hmm. But I could make a golden apple if I find an apple. Did I drop my crafting table? No.
thing's unbelievably far away.
Holy Jesus, fuck. That's insane.
Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is.
What? Another village? Oh, cute.
Right.
Hello, piggy. You are. Oh, fuck. Where did you go? Shit. There you are. You're up to me, demise, because I need some fucking food. Thank you. Hmm, 3 pork chops. That was nice. Oh, fuck. I cook them up. Shit! Where's my home? This way. Alright, sheep, you're adorable, but you're gonna die too. Yes, did give me meat.
And odd.
What?
Creatures don't seem to give a fuck about villagers. You know, skeletons.
Interesting.
Seems more often gives a fuck about villagers.
Ow! Motherfucker! Get through. Ass. I think I ate the raw mutton. A little deeply saddened.
I'm sorry, but
It's okay. Soups. Fishy. mentioned that I love you.
A few times. But I love you
Thanks for
too.
listening to an episode from the Great Moments in Weed History
Oh, I
Archive.
like this one.
Just wanted to let you know
Or
now a
this
weekly
podcast.
podcast, new episodes dropping every Wednesday or every Tuesday. So if you love what you hear, please subscribe now. Consider supporting us on Patreon by visiting greatmomentsinsweedhistory.com. Okay, time to get high on it. This podcast is for adults 21 years of age or older. We talk about cannabis industry, advertising, products. If you're not 21, come back to the bar. It's Abdullah and Bean, and welcome back
I
to another
respawned with one
episode
of the
of
dudes
Great
with like a
Moments
crazy
in
bow
Weed
right
History.
next to me.
On this podcast, Bean and I will both cannabis journalists and media makers go over one of the more fascinating points in the long history of human beings and cannabis. Isn't that right, Bean? That is exactly what we do. So I have no prior knowledge of the story that Bean's about to tell me. I'm just going to chime in with my general knowledge about cannabis. We're going to smoke some weed, and we're going to hear an amazing story. So, Bean, what do you got for us today? I got a story for you about one of the most legendary weed crews of all time, and I think it's going in a direction that you're not going to expect. Wow, so we've had a story about a weed crew before, of course, the Waldos, who invented 420, but this is a different weed crew, huh? Similar? I'm curious. Different weed crew, and it spawned one of the most well-known people on the planet. Interesting. Wow, my mind is running wild with anticipation. If only there was something that would calm me down and stimulate me at the same time. Yeah, well, that's why we got the weed smoking studio rider. That's right. Oh my God, it is so good to be in a professional studio that lets us smoke weed in it. Shout out to Gold Diggers. Yeah, and as I remind you in every episode of Great Moments, listening along at home, you might as well be smoking along at home if you're not packed up or packed up or ready to go. Hit pause now, do what you do, and we'll be here when you get back. We are about to unbox this MFR, and then I think it might be time for another great moment in history. A huge thank you to our sponsor for this episode and many other episodes, Sweeto Farm. I know you and I both really love Sweeto Farm products. They make fantastic flower, tinctures, topicals, all kinds of organically grown products. And right now, our listeners can go to SweetoFarms.com and get 20% off by using the promo code Great Moments, no spaces, all one word. I personally highly recommend it. I mean, literally every time I take a dab, I mix in a little bit of Sweeto Farms batter, and I mix almost every joint with a little bit of flour, which I think is my regular flour, and it really augments my experience of cannabis in my daily life. We are not just talking about Sweeto Farms, they are our sponsors. They are now a part of our Great Moments family, and they are a part of my one word, no spaces. Born in Hawaii. So, Bean, I've got this day in progress in front of me. Why don't you give us the quick rundown on what our story today is? The subject of today's great moment in weed history was born in Hawaii in 1961, if you believe the official story. Oh, born in Hawaii in 1961, part of a famous weed crew. Man, who was born in Hawaii in 1961? If you believe the official story. go on? Yeah, please go on. I don't have
God,
any
that was
solid
hard.
guesses
You
yet.
can try that this whole fucking time.
His mother was a white lady from Wichita, Kansas, studying to be an anthropologist. His father... Ready? Yeah. Guess. It's Barack Obama. Fuck yeah! Dude, okay, I am so stoked. So, as many people know, Barack Obama has written in his own autobiography that he did use cannabis back in the day, and of course, Hawaii is one of the cannabis places in America. But I don't know the details of this story. I've read things from my father, but besides that, I don't know very much about it. I don't know much about Obama's cannabis history. Yeah, it is interesting. And so in his autobiography, you know, he talks about smoking weed, and that's, I think he calls it. Yeah, but he doesn't get into the details. It's not how you or I would write about our weed smoking past. It's somebody who clearly has in mind they're going to run for president at some point, and he doesn't diss weed too hard, but he doesn't endorse it, I guess. Endorse it, but you've pierced through the veil, haven't you? I'm not a birther. I don't even think he was born. I don't think anyone was born. You know what I mean? I think we were all just kind of like, descended from stardust, Everybody's opinion is equally valid, and facts don't matter. So, yeah, that's right. It's the post-fact world that we're living in. Great moments of reading history is the last bastion of true history, and you've never heard it anywhere before. You're never going to hear it anywhere else. And I assume you're listening to this show in some kind of a bunker. And a quick shout out to our sponsor, Bunker Delivery, the only place that will deliver essential food, clean water to your bunker. Food bunk. Bunk base is a whole different. Bunk base. Find your bunk mate today. Okay, should we get back in the story? Yeah, man, I can't wait to hear. Okay, so his mother was a white lady from Wichita, Kansas, studying to be an anthropologist. His father was a foreign exchange student from Kenya, studying economics. The couple met in a Russian language class at the University of Hawaii and married 6 months before Obama was born. And then they divorced before his 4th birthday. A year after Obama's parents divorced, his mother remarried, this time to a foreign exchange student studying geography. Right. So this is the Indonesian guy, right? If I'm not mistaken. And that's why Barack Obama ends up spending some of his life in Southeast Asia, which is, it feels very close to my heart because I also am an American kid who grew up in Southeast Asia. So when I read that part of his book, I was like, oh, that's so cool. Another person with that sort of like cultural perspective or whatever. Yeah, were there aspects of that really connected with you, like that you recognized his story in your own? Yeah, you know what? Like, definitely the book added a lot of depth to my understanding of it. But the moment that comes to mind in terms of relating to Barack Obama, right? Is really when he gave that speech at the whole kid with a funny name in America. Every time I think about it, because I'm a kid with a funny name, and I thought the same thing about America, and I always think about that movie, and it really is one of those things that all this hope. I don't know, just think it was like first famous that there's no red America, blue America, and just really wrong. So, hold up, may I? Like this thing? Alright, once you settle in, I'm gonna settle into the story a little bit. We're getting to the good shit. Yeah, let's keep going. Okay, so his mother remarried a foreign student studying geography. When her new husband's visa ran out, she followed him to his home country of Indonesia because he's got a visa problem. And this is where Barack Obama grows up as a kid for a little bit. Yeah, so they lived there from when he was 10. So 1971, he returned to only 10. He returned to Honolulu, and he's living with his maternal grandparents. And they enrolled him at an upscale private college prep academy which he attended on a scholarship from 5th grade until he graduated from high school in 1979.
Okay, gotcha. So he finished his high school in Hawaii.
He finished his high school in Hawaii, and he had this, like, really pressed out, very cool on scholarship. And, you know, he is this bigger piece of this world, and that's another kind of Midwest, his parental background, but also he's somebody who really is not of much. His family is, you know, you wouldn't say they were in poverty, but you would certainly say that they were probably not quite middle class. But he is very bright and finished his scholarship, so that's another really formative part of him, and this is also where he joined a gang.
Right. Okay. So definitely heard some stories about this. You know, one of my favorite depictions of this is still
And quick shout out to Jordan Field for the podcast.
yeah. Like anytime, bro. Anytime you want to come on the show and tell us about the first time you are down.
So while at school, at this upper class school, Obama joined a gang. It was called the Tube Gang. It was called the Tube Gang, and according to close friend and fellow member, and I'll be a friend of the podcast, Tom Topolucci, had these sleepovers where we partied with the Tube Gang. Tube meaning indulge in Pakalolo, local slang for cannabis. So that kind of became our symbol of our friendship. Clearly, we weren't a gang. We were a family. We weren't a gang. We were a family.
Oh yeah, no, that's really sweet. And I think it really speaks to the bonding power of cannabis, man. I mean, we've talked about this on the show before. We both experienced this. Like our best friendships, maybe all our friendships, like throughout our lives, are cannabis centers somehow. You know what I mean? That it's like it's this lubricant. And when cannabis is something that's illegal, or you know, you do in the shadows a little bit, it fosters that little group vibe even more. You know? Yeah, you might call it a gang, not exactly a gang, but Choom is definitely involved.
It's much more Choom than gang. They're all about the Choom, and they're not really a gang. But it's this group that's full of in-jokes and full of adventure and full of like this zest for life and openness. And they're really into pickup basketball. Like that's one of their things.
Yeah, Obama loves basketball. That's right.
Yeah. Anytime, man. You got 9 guys, and you need one more. I'm better than I loved Obama. I got a little jump shot. So we were hearing from esteemed Tube Gang member Tom Topolucci saying, you know, telling us what Pakalolo is. And in the course of, so I said I was Googling just this morning to try to hear somebody say it, and I found a Don Ho song, and perhaps our cool new crew at Spoke can play some of this in for us. And it's a funny song, and it's about actually getting your plants ripped off. And it reminded me of your piece. I just want my big bag of weed back.
Ah, the one that started it all. The piece that started my weed career was a cover of a Don Ho song.
You owe him royalties.
Yes.
Friend of the podcast in memoriam.
Yeah, Don Ho's spirit. You're welcome on our show anytime, or perhaps here right now. Who knows?
But yeah, it's a funny song. Getting back to our main character.
Yeah.
The true story of the Choom Gang first came to light in journalist David Moranis, friend of the podcast. His 2012 book was called Barack Obama: The Story, and it's also in his own memoirs. But in Dreams from My Father, Obama makes it out like hanging out with a group of misbegotten ne'er-do-wells, what he calls, quote, the club of disaffection. But in fact, according to this other book, which was very well researched, and I relied a lot on it for this episode. So this is David Moran and Chris. Most members of the Toon Gang were decent students and athletes who went on to be successful and productive lawyers, writers, and businessmen in president. Oh, shit, spoiler. One notable exception was Ray, the group's pot dealer, who would years later be killed by a scorned gay lover armed with a ball-peen hammer.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That is fucking rough. But, you know, the fact that the rest of them actually grew up to be gainful members of society, I mean, I think that's so true. It's a total stereotype that it's just the cannabis use is just the burnout kids, because more kids than you think have used cannabis, you know, like the ones who end up doing things with their lives, you know, may have used it, you know, like, it's not so exclusive that, like, burnout smoke cannabis and cannabis smoked by burnout. Everybody smokes weed, and as you get older, you start to realize that.
And I also think, you know, the other way to look at it is people with a lot of trauma in their life are going to look to self-medicate that. Weed's actually a really good thing for treating some of that trauma, but people with trauma in their lives also have more difficult lives.
Yeah.
And make mistakes and, you know, have harder outcomes because of that trauma. So when you lay those two data points over each other, it's easy to think like, oh man, particularly if you're not a part of the culture, and particularly with all the propaganda and all the bullshit science, it's easy to kind of make that association one way.
Right.
Oh, you smoke weed and you're going to get into all these bad outcomes.
Yeah, wow, that is a really interesting point, actually, to think about. That it's like, there's a lot of things with cannabis that it's like kind of a chicken or egg situation. You know, and the sort of forces that are more anti-cannabis in the world are always, you know, gonna draw that line and be like, oh, cannabis caused this, but you don't realize it's like, you know, like think of the correlation between cannabis use and schizophrenia. You know, it's like someone with that mental illness might be more likely to self-medicate using cannabis, but they draw a correlation the other way. And they say, oh, well, you know, people who have schizophrenia smoke cannabis must be causing the schizophrenia. Or like, you know what I mean? Making it more likely. You know, it's bullshit.
Yeah, one little adventure I had between season 1 and season 2 was I went on the Tucker Carlson program.
Steve Stock is the author of How to Smoke Pot Properly. Thank you very much for coming on. Bean went on Tucker Carlson and he held it down. Why should we legalize something? You know, causes schizophrenia.
Tucker, you know, you're the one on here repeating old lies, old distortions, debunked claims. The author of the book that you had on last week, many of the people in the studies that he cited have gone on Twitter to say you grossly misrepresented our findings. The National Academy of Medicine, I'm not an expert in this. The author said you misrepresented. You're not an expert, but you're supposed to do your job.
Bean held it down. I'm so proud of you, Bean.
Oh, thanks, man. But that was what it was. It was this debate about schizophrenia.
And what made it so worth it, it was all worth it, but what made it even more worth
I
it
think I
is that
dropped
Tucker
this thing.
Carlson said, great moments in weed history.
Just like, just random
You can
previous
look it
videos.
up. We gotta put that in a promo or something.
I have no idea. Okay,
All right,
whatever.
why don't we leave Tucker Carlson in the ashtray of history where he belongs?
So anyhow,
Beginner
Barack
mishaps.
Obama.
Yeah. So Obama and his friends, they used to get their weed from
Oh, you
this
see,
guy,
like, these trees are
Ray.
built with like
They hung out with
steps and
him. They
platforms
considered
and
him an
blocks.
honorary Toon Gang
It's
member.
really cool.
He was a white
It makes them look a lot more
Mainlander
interesting
who
too.
worked at a place called Mamma Mia Pizza Parlor,
And
which
gives you building
sounds like it has
materials too,
disgusting
so you don't
pizza.
have to make them.
A Hawaii, all pizza has pineapple.
Oh my god. Is that actually, it's like in Hawaii, if you just order a regular slice, they just do a Hawaiian slice, you know?
And it's served in a hollowed out pineapple. And it's just called pizza.
Like, I like to think in Hawaii that all drinks are served in pineapple. Like, really, just like, you go into like your kitchen cabinet and open it, it's just a bunch of hollowed out pineapples instead of cups.
Well, what do you think out of it?
Yeah, it's like a New York cup, you know?
So, you know, when he's not working at Mamma Mia Pizza Parlor, this guy Ray,
Yeah.
he lives not far from the school in a broken down bus,
Yeah.
parked in an abandoned
is
warehouse.
kind
So
of
it's like,
hilarious.
that is the thing that frightens.
See, this is what happens when you push weed into the shadows. Wild.
Yeah.
Ray's like, I get a storefront on Main Street, but you know, because of the laws, I got to work out of this warehouse. And in a broken down bus. But you know, in memoriam, Ray, friend of the podcast, shout out. He did though keep them very well supplied with classic Hawaiian land race strains of the era, like Maui Wowie, Kauai
Great
Electric,
concrete powder.
Kunabud,
The fuck is
Kona
that?
Gold. So I have a couple questions here. So like, what does this weed look like back then? I'm always curious about like when we talk about these great moments of weed history. You know, it's like, what did weed, you know, look like in Nigeria in the 60s or 70s, right? It's like so when you're talking about Hawaiian weed from this era, like what does it look like, smell like?
Yeah, you're referring to the Fela Kuti episode, and that's an interesting aspect of bouncing around in history and locations. You know, you are always talking about these different strains. So
It's like
in the
the
70s
gravel.
in Hawaii, when I say landrace, that means the weed that's like indigenous to Hawaii. It hasn't been crossed with other kinds of weed. A single strain that's usually associated with a specific place. It's been bred so that you have like the best example of it, but it's not a cross. Whereas your sour teas of the world are 2 strains or 3 strains or a long complicated lineage. This is like one thing. They're pure sativa strains. They would grow really tall,
Like spindly looking buds, right?
spindly looking buds. Sativas are known for being uplifting. Indica is sometimes called indica couch. And we're in big time sativa world in Hawaii. These are like, if you talk, and if like me, and I think most people, you worked at High Times for like 15 years, you talk to a lot of old heads who were smugglers in the 70s or growers or just deep into this culture. The OGs are still alive, you know, and they talk about Maui Wowie and some of these strains that are real rippers.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people might remember Maui Wowie from that moment in Half Baked, of course, legendary cannabis movie where Dave Chappelle breaks into the medical marijuana thing. It is a fantastic strain, Maui Wowie. If you have the opportunity to smoke some Maui Wowie, you should try the strain. It's still around, and you know it's really good.
We're at a little point now where in our story we're getting to the real meat of the story, but what I'm about to tell you is one of Obama's earliest weed policies. Actually dates back to his days in the Choom Gang. But I thought we would skip ahead a little bit because we're going to have a little break and talk about his weed policies when he was president before we go back and see how the Choom Gang might have influenced his thinking. And with some quotes of his, I can kind of take us through this.
Oh, I love it. Okay, yeah,
cool.
let's do this.
Okay, so as a politician, Obama's evolution on weed played out in public and never quite put him out in front of the issue, but the results are obvious. You know, we're sitting here smoking weed in a legal state in a fucking recording studio.
And he was, you know, he was the first president to be that supportive of weed. All right, let's hear these quotes.
Okay. So in 2004, when he was running for the Senate, and I think this is the same year he gave the speech that you were referring to, he told students at Northwestern University,
The war on drugs has been a failure. ...
But
I have somebody who believes in legalization of marijuana.
Right. He's like, he really had that college crowd on the edge of their seats. Let him down pretty fucking hard. His evolution on it was like pretty slow. There was raids going on in Northern California under the Obama-led DEA, or the DEA that was under Obama. But also, when I look back on it and think about it, it was such a different world, right? Like, we've seen such change in the last few years. There was a time just in, 2010, where the prospect of legal cannabis in the United States was, we did not think we would see that in our lifetimes. You know, it's like, sure, you had medical cannabis in different places and that was growing at its own pace, but it really did not seem like we would be where we are now. But at the time when he would release tidbits like that, like if he said something like, the drug war is a failure, I would be like, I'm going to ignore everything else he said that week and just focus on that because the president just said that the drug war is a failure. So at the time, it was so exciting. but he was kind of, there was definitely things that he allowed to go on that are atrocious.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can't and shouldn't be ignored. And being a part of this weed community gives you a good perspective to look at like all these political divides and say, well, wait, you were both fucking wrong about this thing that's so important to me and is so obviously wrong, weed prohibition, that I can be skeptical about politics and politicians and movements that I'm also aligned with. When you start to get this tribalism, that's dangerous territory.
It's very true. And I think that the good thing about Obama is that he showed change in himself. He might not have started out in exactly where we wanted him to as weed people, but he ended up a lot closer to it than I think anyone would have guessed,
Yeah, and I think he's playing a long game.
Yeah.
So let's
let's keep going.
So by 2006, this is when he says quite famously, "I inhaled frequently. That was the point."
Yeah, dude. No, I mean, that's crazy. That's like when a 2000s rap song references like an early 90s rap song, and it kind of like flips it on its head a little bit. Experimented with marijuana and conversation.
I inhaled frequently. That was the point.
By 2012, and now he's president. 2006, he's still a senator. Colorado and Washington passed the first adult legalization laws. We were both there.
Yeah, dude, wow. What a day. January 1st, 2013. Have your IDs ready. It's the Wild West Weed Rush. Colorado's Amendment 64 was passed on November 6, 2012. President Obama clarified comments about the same changes now. Comments saying right in marijuana in Colorado and Washington. I remember it was flurrying in Denver, Colorado. Bean and I met up at 3D Discreet at 7 in the morning, right? Good day.
It was beautiful. It was a special day, and so Obama, of course, needs to react to this. Yeah, he waited 3 weeks before the election in terms of how they were going to react if it passed. Same thing. Didn't come out against it, didn't come out for it, and didn't give any indication of whether they were going to let this stand, man.
Yeah.
So after the election, Barbara Walters, sure, friend of the podcast, we're not, asked him about it, and Obama says,
It does not make sense from a prioritization point of view for us to focus on recreational drug users in a state that has already said that under state law that's legal.
So this was the beginning of the seriously let the states decide kind of thing. Because obviously that was a sticking point with California for the previous 15 years because it was the Wild West sort of rule. It was like